Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update, Sunday, May 23rd, 11 p.m. Mountain Time, 2021. There is snow through June in the forecast. Mount Nyiragongo, ongoing eruption, multiple people dead, many missing. And the big story, rare late May snowfall hits Mount Charleston near Las Vegas. Keep calm. It's boom time. Vegas buried in the global warming goodness. That does not look like a sight for late May. The ski and snow season at Lee Canyon on Mount Charleston is over, but no one told Mother Nature. The National Weather Service reported snowflakes falling on the mountain this morning in their Twitter feed. And that's not it. We learned to roll with it. Residents and visitors react to spring Sierra snow. Ho, ho, ho. Truckee, California, from the south shore of Lake Tahoe to the northern town of Truckee, and pretty much everywhere in between on Friday, the Tahoe Basin looked a whole lot like winter, and Al Gore was nowhere to be found. Rain and snow continue. Travel impacts at pass level in Montana. Current temperature 41. Not looking fun. Winter weather advisory for the Rocky Mountain front until noon on Monday. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Additional snow accumulations of 5 to 10 inches will be possible above 5,500 feet. 1 to 2 feet in other areas. We'll get to the models in just a minute. Winds gusting as high as 45, near blizzard conditions. Winter weather advisory for Beaverhead, Lewis, and Clark, Madison, Jefferson, Gallatin counties. Additional snow 2 to 4 inches will be possible above 5,500 feet, winds gusting to 35. Winter weather advisory for West Glacier region till noon Monday. Additional snow of 2 to 4 inches will be possible above 5,000 feet, 6 to 9 inches above 6,000 feet, and over a foot in the high elevations. Can you believe these forecasts? I can. We predicted it. Melting snow usually means water for the West, but with reduced snowfalls in some regions and aquifers completely depleted, the runoff is not going to be so runny off as usual. At least a dozen tornadoes spotted in 2 days, like a haze in the maze as severe weather kicks up in Colorado. Not the only place severe weather is going to be kicking up. This front is moving east like a beast. And we also have Anna, the first named post-tropical cyclone, as predicted, being named in the Atlantic. It's just going to move over here and no one cares. No one at all. Severe storms in the plains. Heavy rain continues for the Texas Gulf Coast. That front that was just in East Colorado is now all the way across the mid-Craton here. So we have winter thunderstorm warnings, severe storms, thunderstorm warnings and watches from South Dakota into Nebraska, Kansas, eastern New Mexico, and that's going to be moving east, folks. Severe storms with large hail, severe gusts, and locally heavy rain may develop in the south and central plains. It's insane. Continued heavy rain on saturated soil could cause a boil in some people's skin, depending on how depleted they are in nutrition. And there's also possible flash flooding threat in the Texas and Gulf Coast here in green. What does it mean? It means there's winter storm watches and warnings in Montana, everywhere in the west, and freeze warnings in Maine. It's insane. I know, it's almost June. Here we are looking at the models. So just moving through Monday through Tuesday, there's heavy snow. Looks like 12 to 16 inches in the high elevations here in northwestern Montana. A nice little smattering of 3, 4, 5 inches in central Utah, northwestern Wyoming, and central Idaho. Who knew? And then there's more snow here midweek, May 26th and 7th through Canada. And it looks like a little clipper here. Thursday, boom, May 27th, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Say it ain't soda, but there could be some snow in the forecast for you fellas. Now, we got a few more hours up here on the GFS models. Let's see if that makes a difference. This is the newest model coming out as we speak live. It's like a live model. How the heck are you? Had a great day outside in the Can-Ams with Top Knot, Josiah, and Rex Bear. That video will be, well, I'm going to be sewing that together tonight and putting it up in the morning. So take a look in the morning at some of our adventures. And the snow will continue through June as 21 die in extreme weather in China's ultra marathon. This just happened 48 hours ago in Beijing. 21 people running a mountain ultra marathon have died in northwestern China after hail, freezing rain, and gale force winds hit the high altitude race. Now they were running up in the mountain, and once they got to about 8,000 feet, they kept going up, and that's when the majority of them died. It wasn't a majority of them, but a huge number. There was 172 participants, and well, 21 of them are no longer with us. All young men sent up there by the Chinese communist regime. What could go wrong? Seismic update. 1, 2, 3, 4 mid-ocean ridge boomers. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The Earth is getting bigger. My final answer. Volcano Watch. New research sheds light on recent Pahala earthquake swarms. And you know what the conclusion is? Well, it's quite unique. Never been seen before in Hawaii. And it means something never seen before in Hawaii is about to happen. Oh, I had to do that twice. Just for purpose. Mount Nyiragongo. Yes, Nyiragongo. At least 15 dead now. Over 170 children missing after the volcano erupts in eastern Congo. A repeat of the 2002 disaster. Now, Goma, Congo, torrents of lava poured into villages after dark in the eastern Congo. We were some of the first alternative media sources, any media, to report on it as early as we did, with little warning, leaving 15 dead amid the chaos and destroying more than 500 homes, officials and survivors said Sunday. The eruption of Nyiragongo on Saturday night sent 5,000 people fleeing from the city of Goma across nearby borders into Rwanda, where there is seismic activity happening now associated with the volcano, while another 25,000 others sought refuge to the northwest in Saki, and the UN Children's Agency said Sunday more than 170 children were still feared missing by UNICEF officials who were trying to child traffic them. Now, let's go back and show you right there the quakes in question 4.2 in Rwanda. Hello. That's not where we were. Okay. Let's get to it. We are completely erasing things, and very bad situation happening here now. Okay, so the ongoing situation is horrendous. But according to Phil Vox and what's happening volcanically, it is decreasing in intensity, so that's good. It could just be a one-off, which lasted about a week, which would still be a tweak, but it's my opinion this will be a little longer lasting than the media suspects, but they don't suspect anything. Worldwide Volcano News Update. We have Nyiragongo, and no significant eruption detected in the last 24 hours, but we do have puffing in passing. So it erupted to 45,000 feet. It erupted again at 30,000. Now we have constant ash emission to 20,000 feet at Nyiragongo here, and an eruption detected earlier today at that level. So it is decreasing in activity. And an update on the Fagradalsfjall mountain in Iceland. It's a short update, and this was happening a few days ago, where our top geologist in Iceland said lava is now on the way to the ocean by flowing down the Nathagaldr Valley. And there's an attempt to try and stop or delay that from happening. They put up a lava retainment wall, and it is, in my personal view, this attempt is going to fail. Well, kudos to you. It has failed. Fagradalsfjall volcano update. Lava overflows the dam, enters the valley towards the Southern Ring Road, and is now endangering the Southern Ring Road from being cut off, which would cut off many Icelanders from Grimsvötn. And they'd have to make some new highways real quick. Ding, ding. Or they'd have people stuck, like Chuck, on the coast of the most. But this lava may make it to the ocean, and then it's a whole new event. Stay tuned. Etna volcano update. The new paroxysms hit 3, and lava fountains light up the Sicily sky during the third paroxysm in May. Hey, which is not the third paroxysm. It is the 39th in the last few months. Now, the latest paroxysm of Etna occurred during the last night, 23 May 2021, following a 48 hours since the previous one during May 2021, and marking the third such episode in a row in May, or number 20 during the year 2021. Okay, so it was 20. I wasn't being funny. Similar as during the preceding two eruptions, the main active vent was in the summit region of the new southeast crater and the one known as the saddle vent, because it is used to be a small depression between the old southeast crater and the new southeast crater, which has been growing a large cone complex to the side since 2011. And now spectacular, Strombolian, totally delicious eruptions happening at Etna. On regular intervals, it's almost like nightly, people are spendifularized with the splendacular vernacular of the look-upular. Take a picture. Solar update. I just did a space weather news update over on magnetic reversal news, so check that out. We're not going to be that intense here. But we have had a sunspot AR 2824 get quite jiggy over the last 48 hours, producing multiple C and M flares. And those C and M flares produce multiple CMEs, which are all headed towards us. And it might be boom time. We could get into low level geomagnetic G1, G2 storms. Could even get up to a G3. But there will be aurora at the mid-latitude, so look up, starting at the 26th through the 27th. Now, a 5,000-year-old Aboriginal cave painting of the Wajinda. We've shared this multiple times. I shared it tonight on the Space Weather News Update and said that the solar storms will not be Wajinda-like, but the Wajinda petroglyphs in northwestern Australia are indicative of plasma discharge seen by ancestral people, ancient people, the ancients in the night sky, and we'll tell you why. Because if we look at the plasma discharge hypothetical morphology, the morphology is just what it looks like. You could see different portions of this morphology in different petroglyphs based on where you were geographically located on the planet. If you're at the equator, you'd see something different than if you were at 40 north latitude, and you would see something different if you were in Australia. Well, in Australia, they saw the torus plasmoid, the bottom of the baby. And if you just look at this, these are the top hands of the Parat stickman stone, and this would go through here, and there would be a bottom portion with the toroid in the middle. And if you're not picking that up, here's that last stickman toroid in the middle, and then the bottom portion of the petroglyph seen worldwide and 5,000 years ago by the Wajinda, who was only looking at the torus plasmoid, the terminus of it, because they were in Australia. But people in North America see the whole thing. Ding, ding. Now, incredible microscope sees atoms at record resolution. This is amazing because you can see the angle of the crystal lattice that these are. Oh, it's just fascinating. Now, why they picked Paraseodium orthoscandate, PRSCO3, to look at is anyone's guess. Why didn't they just do halite? NaCl2, for goodness sake. But this is quite a simple lattice, and it is showing you the angles of the attachment of the bonds of the atoms between secondary atoms. Just an amazing fake picture. It's not even real. This image shows an electron tychographic reconstruction. And you know what that means? Fake. So it's anyone's guess what they're actually showing us there. Now, what I'm actually going to show you is some pretty good statistical analysis. Divergent evolution of glaciation across high mountain Asia during the last 4 glacial interglacial cycles. It just doesn't show that. It dives deep. This paper, which is a full paper, which I'll show you all the corroborating evidence here. And we can just go through some of it, which is absolutely mind-blowing because of the high-resolution nature of their data. So they first start here, and we'll just look at from present on the left back 425,000 years. And you could see the high resolution of the July 65-degree northern insolation. This is coming from the sun and the solar output and its fluctuations. Clearly, we can see the 100,000-year cycle in the sun here. And that is just some of the first graphical analysis that is mind-blowing. Beyond that, if we get into some more detailed analysis in the proxy data like the oxygen isotopes and other data, we start to get even more high-resolution graphics to show you that climate variability is natural, cyclic, and abrupt, and quite spectacular. And it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with natural climate cycles. Specifically, the 23.5 kiloyear cycle is the largest pervasive cycle in the entire data set. So that 20,000 kiloyear cycle is the big boomer, but the 100,000 year we know is the crustal slip cycle, so we don't have to worry about that anytime soon unless you listen to the other guy and that other guy. In which case, buy his book, because, well, he's got to feed his family. Don't we all? Well, some of us prefer integrity. So here we are with very high resolution data sets. And what I want you to see here is these are the temperature anomalies and the precipitation anomalies overlain in the southern, northern, western hemisphere, aged kiloyears before present. You can see that the warm periods have only lasted for one single bar on the graph. Every 100,000 years, we have a single warm bar. We're living the single warm bar, and it's over. It's over, Johnny. No more warm bars. And here I also want you to come to this ratio of glacial extent versus time in the last 425,000 years. And each time we dip way down to the bottom, we have a massive return spike in glaciation. The large dips down, which is the warm periods, are immediately preceded or superseded by a huge build in glacial maximas. Here, huge dip down, huge advance in glaciers. We are now living a huge dip down, and at this exact flexure point, at 112,000 years ago, and 240,000 years ago, and 330,000 years ago, the same thing happened. There was an extreme advance of glaciation and maximum glaciation again and again. And where we are today, it will be again. One more time. Now, there is a solution, and that's to learn how to be self-sufficient and self-reliant and grow your own food. EasyGrowFood.com, a huge friend of the channel, has come up with an amazing solution. Now, we've promoted EM1 and even shown you how to produce it yourself. And Matt Powers and I speak ad nauseum about permaculture principles and how you don't grow food, you grow soil. And with the correct soil, everything else is an after effect. Abundance, abundance, abundance. Doesn't matter what you put in the ground, you'll be a success. So you start with the soil. Biodiversity in the soil. You need inoculated soil with all the micronutrients and all the biodiversity in the subsurface, the mycorrhiza, the mycelia, and the bacteria, right? Bacillus, we need it. We need it down there. And if you want to change the way the world grows food, then just come over to EasyGrowFood.com. And they're now announcing a new product called Beam. And Beam is simply the most perfectly produced, think about it, compost. It's just compost. And it's a compost inoculant. So they send you out 1 pound of this inoculant. You can make 15 gallons of compost tea from it, and you spray it all over your new garden, your new raised beds, or your permaculture orchard. And the results, well, they're spectacular. Here's the Waltham squash germination tests. No beam on the left, beam on the right. So when you have all the necessary micronutrients and microbiology in the soil, your production increases 2, 3, 4-fold. Add a little extra CO2 and boom, you're in Abundanceville. Now for less than $30, you get a pound of this shipped out to your home. And it comes with the Compost Tea sock and all the necessary instructions on how to inoculate all your brand new plantings or even your old plantings that aren't producing so much. You want to double your production? $30 will get you there for almost an acre. Now, 1 pound of beam can inoculate half an acre or 22,000 square feet of beds. That's insane and a good value. And we also be supporting the channel because they offered to kick us $3 for each pound that you buy. Can't go wrong there. Hope you got something out of the video. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance when all your garden needs is a pound of beam. For goodness sakes. Please share this with like-minded people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Go over to Magnetic Reversal News and watch the M-Flare video. Or just sit around, do nothing, and wait for the next video. It's your choice. Be safe. We love you. Remember to watch the video in the morning on the Top Knot Rex Bear Josiah experience on 8 Mile Mesa. It will blow your mind.